What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PickSix podcast, CBS Sports Daily NFL podcast. I'm Will Brinson. I'm your host, and we are rolling right along with our Super Bowl coverage. We are taking this podcast thing to a new frontier, or maybe an old frontier. I don't know. We're micro-podding. That's right, micro-prop podding. We are ripping through 10 or 11-minute pods, depending on what we end up talking about. It is Wednesday, February 3rd, by the way. And joining me to do a prop pod, decked out in his Chiefs gear, Jacob Gibbs. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, Will. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Chiefs fan, for sure. I'm really excited for the Super Bowl. Second, hopefully we'll have many more, but definitely excited.
I think there's a good chance. I wouldn't, if we're talking props, I'd say the over-under in the next 10 years of Mahomes' Super Bowl appearances is like 3.5. And that's a ton, but I wouldn't want to take the under on Patrick Mahomes on anything, honestly, even maybe the passing yards in this game, but we can get to that. Reminder, sign up for Sportsline. Go to sportsline.com/join. Use promo code EDGE, and you will get your first month for free. If you are unable for some reason to watch the Super Bowl, we're streaming it on CBS All Access, which you can watch your local channel, local CBS channel. And if you join Sportsline for free, you will also get a CBS All Access membership, which means you will get the Super Bowl for free. So, do that and sign up for those things. By the way, if you like free stuff, including free money, go to cbssports.com/props and you can enter the contest, the props contest. Make all your picks. If you hit every single one of them correctly, you will win $1 million. That's right, $1 million. The winner of the contest will get a $50,000. There's a guaranteed prize of $50,000 to the winner of the contest, and you can win all that without risking a single dime. Download the CBS Sports app to enter, or go to cbssports.com/props. All right, Jacob, let's get to it. Your three. Well, we'll start. Give me your favorite Super Bowl prop. Or in the words of Jonathan Coachman, give it to me.
All right. So, yeah, you already kind of alluded to it, but I think we're just smashing the overs for Kansas City here.
Yeah.
I love Mahomes' yardage, even though it continues to get pumped up. I love Tyreek Hill. This is actually down below 100, and I think that's an easy one to take. He's got a great slot matchup here against Tampa Bay. We've seen Carlton Davis shadow Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams over the past 2 weeks, but he really doesn't travel to the slot a whole lot. And so, like, neither he or their speedy cornerback Jamel Dean have spent very much time in the slot. They both were under 5% in terms of slot coverage rate this year, and 58% of Tyreek snaps came from the slot. In 2020, he has more touchdowns from the slot over the past 3 years than any player in the NFL, and the Chiefs actually used him on 64% of his routes in the slot in the divisional round to take advantage of that matchup against Buffalo. I think we could see a similar thing here against Tampa Bay. So I like the over on Mahomes' yards. I like the over on Kelsey's catches. But really the one that I would focus on if forced to choose just one from the Chiefs would be Tyreek.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about Tyreek Hill is, and this is a Chiefs fan and somebody who like looks at the data, and you don't need to, you don't need advanced data to figure out that basically since week 7, Tyreek Hill's usage is through the roof. I mean, he's averaging over 10 targets per game, which is just completely different than the way that Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy used him for almost the entirety of his career up until week 7 of this year.
Yeah, for sure. He's really kind of stepped into the wide receiver 1 role. And I think we'll continue to see that. Both him and Kelsey, their target per route run rates are way up in the postseason. Kelsey in particular. And then if you are really worried about, we talked about the catches already for Kelsey, but if you're worried about the Chiefs getting blitzed a lot in this game, which is probably going to happen with the offensive line a little bit banged up, I really like Kelsey in this spot. His target per route run rate is up from 24% in the regular season all the way to 35 in the playoffs.
Whoa.
Yeah, and just for reference, Devontae Adams led the NFL with a 31% rate during the regular season. So that's really a massive, massive number for Kelsey there.
Holy wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, the way that the Chiefs really operate too, because I think you're onto something. So we were talking before the pod, like, the Chiefs offensive line is an issue. Sean Payton came on the podcast and said that he thinks that the Bucs will be really aggressive, and that's their MO. They like to blitz. Yep. Now, blitzing Mahomes is stupid, but they might do it anyway because of the offensive line issues. Like, hey, like we're not gonna be able to slow this guy down. Let's just uncork on him early. And I think you're right. If they do that, the go-to guy is Travis Kelce working on these underneath routes where he fakes left and then cuts back across the middle. And if you're blitzing, there's just not going to be anybody there. And if Kevin White is magically covering Travis Kelce and running with him across the field, guess who's going to have the entire middle of the field wide open is Tyreek Hill. So to me, the best case scenario, if I want to take these overs for Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, is the Bucs blitzing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Mahomes was by far the best quarterback in the NFL in blitz. His numbers were actually better when blitzed than not blitzed.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, they're going to blitz him a lot. I mean, they're fifth in the NFL in blitz rate, and then banged up offensive line. Like they're definitely going to be coming after him, but I just don't think it's gonna matter really.
Okay. What else you got in terms of props? Anything on the Tampa Bay side?
Yeah, so a couple on the Tampa Bay side. I actually really like the under on basically anything for Cameron Braid. I think his numbers have been inflated by the fact that they have faced some really zone-heavy defenses. Two of the three teams they face on their path to the Super Bowl ranked in the top 10 in zone coverage use, which just naturally leads to more targets for the intermediate weapons like tight ends and running backs. That's not going to be the case against Kansas City. They use man coverage at one of the highest rates in the league. And then on top of that, the underlying usage for Braid just isn't there. He ran 12 routes on 53 dropbacks last time we saw Tampa Bay. Only played 36% of the snaps, and that's just something we've seen all season. He's been targeted more heavily in these last few games. Like I said, I think that's has more to do with the matchups than anything. So I think his yardage is at 30.5 right now, and I would definitely take the under on that.
Okay.
And then if you're looking for an over, I actually like Mike Evans quite a bit. As mentioned with Bray, Kansas City uses a ton of man coverage, which is potentially exciting news for both Evans and Tom Brady. I say potentially because I'm just not completely sold that Brady's going to find success in this spot. The Chiefs, yeah, I will see. The Chiefs front seven, they generate a ton of pressure, and Brady completed just 44% of his passes when under pressure in 2020. He actually – this is crazy. Over the last two seasons, no qualified quarterback has a worse completion rate when pressure than Tom Brady. But if their line can keep him, yeah, I know that's a crazy one to just drop on you. But yeah, if Tampa's line can keep Brady clean, I think he will find success. He's been much better against man coverage than zone. Was fifth in the NFL in passer rating versus man. And then when you look at who he targeted the most when facing man, that was Mike Evans. His target per route run rate skyrocketed from 17% versus zone to 27% versus man. That's a massive difference.
Yeah.
And him and Justin Jefferson were the only two players in the NFL with an average route depth above 9 yards and an average target per route run rate above 27%. That combination just presents a ton of upside on these downfield targets if Brady can deliver.
Plus, it's not like we're talking about the Legion of Boom with some lanky, athletic. Like, I mean, if you're talking about a cornerback who can match up with Mike Evans downfield, I mean, like, stands a reason I would think. And the thing with Evans is you can get it be either game script. It's the Bucs attacking downfield early on, trying to win, or the Bucs trailing by a bunch of points and needing to come back. And we saw that in week 12 against KC, where he had those 2 touchdown catches. I think that's how, if the Bucs are down double digits, you love getting a Mike Evans over because he's just going to be targeted down the field.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pretty conservative number. I think it's only at 67 right now. Right. So yeah, I like that a lot.
Do you think this is going to be a KC blowout?
I think it definitely could be. Yeah, I just think they're significantly better, honestly. I worry a little bit about Mahomes' health and the fact that the line is banged up. But other than that, I think Tampa Bay just doesn't match up very well with them.
Okay. Any other props that you've got circled that we should be looking at?
So if Sammy Watkins were to not play or potentially be not 100%, I actually think that Byron Pringle is a sneaky over bet. His props will be set super low. He played 80% of the snaps last week compared to just 34% for Mecole Hardman. I don't know if a lot of people realize that because Mecole ended up catching the touchdown. But I think he's somebody who's really continued to play well every time he's been given an opportunity. And so if Sammy were to miss the game unexpectedly, or if Demarcus Robinson can't clear the COVID list, then Pringle is just somebody to keep in mind. But no, not much else other than the ones we mentioned.
All right. So the Pringle thing for people who are looking at these props and trying to figure out when to put them in. With Pringle, what you want to do is target, have him kind of, I don't know if you want to put him in now, but maybe queue it up and be ready to jump on it in the event that Watkins is a scratch, which will probably be on Sunday and probably late on Sunday, or you'll hear about it on Sunday morning from Jason LaCanfora, the NFL insiders, et cetera. And then with Demarcus Robinson, we should know, I would think by Saturday, worst case Sunday morning. But if Robinson hadn't cleared by Sunday morning and Watkins is trending the wrong way, go ahead and hit the Pringle thing. Otherwise, you probably want to wait and confirm that those guys are out, because I don't think his usage will be huge if both of those guys are in. All right, Jacob, awesome stuff, buddy. Go to sportsline.com/join. Use promo code EDGE and make sure and check out the Early Edge podcast as well. Sportsline killing it. And if you need your DFS lineups, you need DFS advice, Jacob and Mike McClure have those ready for you at Sportsline as well. So go get the free month. Right now is a perfect time for the free month. Go do it. Go make some money. Appreciate the time, pal.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Go Chiefs.